Welcome to this Google Sites screencast where we're looking at how to share homework and lesson plans. In this screencast specifically, I'm going to show how to embed multiple Google calendars into one calendar on your Google site. So here's an example of what multiple calendars in one calendar looks like. So this is really 4 different calendars. These are music calendars. So purple are band performances, pink are choir performances. If there was green and blue on this month in particular, that would be general music and orchestra. So this is one example where these are 4 calendars run by 4 different people, and we've embedded all of them onto one calendar so parents or students looking at this can look and see all of the district performances all in one place. Let's transfer that to working as a teacher. Maybe you're a teacher that works on a team, middle school setting, if you're working in a house, or even at the elementary level, if you are sharing content areas amongst kids, maybe a good idea to put all your calendars in one place if you choose to use Google Calendar. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here's my Google Sites page. I'm going to embed the calendar on here. Before I do that, I have to do some things specific in Google Calendar. So I'm going to open a new tab and go to Google Calendar. And if you are at the Google page, you can just go up to the black bar and choose Calendar. So here I am within the Google Calendar tool. If you're new to Google Calendar, please go watch the other video that's part of the training materials that shows how to use Google Calendar. I'm going to touch on some very specific things here that will show you how to embed these all into one place. So I've made my calendar as a teacher, an 8 new media calendar, and I put my name as part of the calendar name. First thing I want to do is make sure that this calendar is shared to my teammates. So I'm going to mouse over the calendar here and go to the little option arrow, and I'm going to go to calendar settings. In the calendar settings again, you see the name of the calendar. Make sure it's the subject name of whatever you're teaching, and then in parentheses put your teacher name. The reason we do that is because if anyone subscribes to your calendar, they'll know whose calendar it is when they look at the events. So it just helps the end user. If I go to share this calendar, some very important things here. First, under share this calendar, you want to make sure that share this calendar with others is checked, and also make this calendar public is checked. The reason for that is when this is embedded on a site, these 2 things need to be checked in order for that calendar to be seen by anyone. And again here, see all event details is the default there. So under share with specific people, you want to share this to your teammates so that they can also add your calendar in on their site if they choose to. So if I was going to add my teammate here, I want to make sure that he can see all event details or make changes to events if needed, or make changes and manage sharing. These are very similar to when you share a Google Doc, the same type of rights you're giving that other user. So I would probably make changes to events just in case a teammate had to fix something for me or whatnot, they could do that. And I would hit save. Now you want to make sure you share this to each of your teammates that plans to put this on their site, as well as you want to make sure that your teammates share their calendar to you. And I'm going to go ahead and click cancel because this is just an example here. So once you have those calendars, if you have the rights to make changes and manage sharing, your teammates' calendars will show up here because you technically then are an owner of the calendar, or your teammates' calendars might show up here under other calendars. No matter which area they're in, you can embed them all in one calendar as we go forward here. So we're going to pretend that I've got my teammates' calendars. I've got my calendar all set up, correctly set to be viewed by anyone from the public. I'm going to go back to my Google site, and I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to edit this page, and I'm going to place my cursor where I want to put the calendar, and I'm going to go up to Insert, Calendar. Now when I do Insert Calendar, the first step is you're going to choose your calendar first. So I'm just going to check on my calendar, and I'm going to hit Select. Now once you get into the settings for how this calendar will display, this is where, right here, there's a link that says Display Another Calendar. This is where you can choose your other teammates' calendar. So I'm going to click Display Another Calendar, and I'm going to check off the other calendars that I want to display. Can I do 2? No, I can only do 1 at a time, so I'm going to check that one. We're going to pretend that's one of my teammates. I'm going to click Display Another Calendar again, and we'll do this Kafka Fake Calendar because I know there's some events on there, and I'm going to hit Select. Now, the colors. I would talk with your team, maybe set colors for math can be one color, language arts could be another color. You can change these colors. It's hard to see, but there's an arrow on each side of the little color bar here for each one. So let's say I want the 8 new media to be red, And I want the website workshops to be, let's do orange. And I want the fake calendar to be blue. Okay, so you can set that. Height of the calendar, you can decide how big or tall you want to make that. Usually 600 or 800 or 1000, somewhere in there is pretty good. Width I would leave blank. This just means that the width of the calendar is going to fill the page. View I would leave at month. Time zone, you can leave this by default. It should do central time zone. You can leave that alone. These options, show week, month, and agenda tabs, I leave those checked. Calendar name I uncheck. It just gets a little cluttered. Navigation buttons I leave checked. Current date range is fine. Include a border. I personally don't like the borders. And I'm going to not do a title because I'm just going to have the title of my page just say, my team's White House calendar or whatever I want to call it. I'm going to hit save. Calendar comes onto the page. I'm going to center this up. And I might do a key. I've made a note here. I would do a key just like you saw on the music calendars here earlier, saying, purple is band, pink is choir, whatever you're doing. So if I was going to say math is red, and LA is blue, and science is orange. And you could go in and highlight these and change these colors. Maybe make them bold so they stick out a little bit more. Just some good ideas to make this look good for your audience so that when somebody gets here and they're looking at your calendar, they know what's what. Okay, so there's that. I hit save. So now, here's how the calendar looks. The one calendar I chose is red, the one calendar I chose is blue, and the one calendar I chose is orange. And so that's how it will look. And then you can put any other descriptors up here. Maybe name this, White House calendar or 6 CPOD calendar or whatever you're choosing to do. That is how you embed multiple calendars. A good test of this, I always suggest this, copy that link. If you're working in Chrome, go up to New and choose New Incognito window, or you can choose it from over here in the settings as well. Paste that address, and if you see the events, good. I see all the events that I saw when I was logged in as me. This means that all the public showing of the calendar is set correctly. And the calendars are public, so do be sure not to include students' first and last names. Especially if you're doing a calendar of who's bringing treats and all that. Try to, remember only use students' first names. That is how you embed multiple calendars in one place. Thanks so much for watching.